And so it all comes down to this: good versus evil. Will night reign supreme, or will the Avengers be able to push it back? Let's all find out together, shall we, in the pages of Avengers No Road Home, issue number 10, the big finale to this weekly series. Alrighty then, so picking up from where the last issue left off, the Vision had followed after Nyx, the goddess of night, into the strange house on Staten Island where light remained even after it was snuffed out everywhere else in the universe. It becomes quickly and abundantly clear that this house is not like any other house in the world. For one thing, it completely cures all the damage that Vision was suffering from, meaning that he's now going to live. Nyx once again speaks of her great plan to bring eternal night throughout the universe, eternal calm, to break the role that was given to her by the ancient Greek gods and finally realize her dream. It's here in this house that she can restart the universe, because that light we've been seeing, well, that's the light of creation, and this house belongs to the one above all. As Vision slowly but surely starts putting together, this is a house of great power and importance, a place of birth and rebirth, a house of ideas, if you will. And that if Vision is able to harness the amazing power before Nyx does, he'll be able to defeat her, and he does just that. This house has no windows, not at first, but once Vision starts imagining windows, they're created, and then from those windows pour some of his friends, some of the Marvel Universe's greatest heroes, but not just from this time, from all of time. You got the champions, the young Avengers, you've got the original Avengers, the original X-Men, Golden Age Captain America socking Nyx on the jaw like she was Hitler. As Vision puts it, the light of creativity will always manage to push back and defeat the cynicism and narcissism that is darkness. And that while Nyx thought coming here would seal her ultimate victory, in the end all she managed to do was seal her fate. She's destroyed for now, but as all things are, nothing that is ever truly amazing and uncanny will ever fade. They'll always return. Vision returns from the house triumphant, and he and his team celebrate their victory before eventually and ultimately kind of sadly having to go their different ways. After all, they all have lives of their own and storylines that need to be wrapped up. Monica Rambeau returns to her own team of crime fighters, including her current love, Simon Bashir. She has good news. It seems that the fight with Nyx and jumping in and out of Vision's body has actually allowed her to regulate the amazing light power in her body. She thinks maybe she's not immortal anymore, and maybe now is the time to start a proper family. Rocket Raccoon's story, on the other hand, is a lot less happy. He goes to a space bar for a drink, lamenting the fact that he had to leave this team and he still can't go back to the Guardians. Then, of course, there's the matter with the Olympians. They were all wiped out, but because they were never really human to begin with, part myth and legend, it's only a matter of time before they're all ultimately reborn, only looking much more different now. Conan the Barbarian is another interesting case. He caught a ride from his own world to the Marvel Universe, and it doesn't look like he's heading back anytime soon. Not that he isn't keeping busy, though. He's having a great time in the Savage Lands. We will certainly not be seeing the last of him. Then we have Voyager, who grew by leaps and bounds in this story, eventually becoming an Avenger herself. She returns to her post only to discover that her uncle, the Challenger, aka the villain from No Surrender, he's escaped, which I feel almost certainly has to set up the third part of this No trilogy. Perhaps the biggest change of all, though, is actually saved for Hercules. After all, this story was more or less about him and his change, his want, his drive to be more than a joke, to buck the very trends that have been set for him. It would seem a year from now he's got a brand new gig for himself as a spacefaring superhero, complete with a brand new slick costume. And it's on that happy, uplifting note the comic comes to a close. So that was Avengers No Road Home, everybody, and I have to say, this was a truly beautiful work of art, an utter love letter to the Marvel fanbase and Marvel's history. I don't think anyone, least of which myself, was expecting this story to go so truly metatextual in the final issue, but I really appreciate that they did. It further enforces this bigger theme that's penetrated the story, of beloved fan-favorite characters, including even the villain of this story, Nyx herself, wanting to break the molds that have been set for them and transcend their position in life. And I mean, really, who builds those roles if not for writers themselves? So to make this a story about stories in the very end, I thought was pretty cool. Moving forward, I think we're really going to see the effects of this story on the characters that took part in it, and I think it's going to be really interesting to see where they go from here. I think I can also say without a doubt No Road Home ends up being probably one of the best Marvel comics I've read all year round, and an absolute must-read for anyone who was trade waiting. I give this one a 10 out of 10. It's just a feel-good adventure from start to finish.
Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel again, and I want to
thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why not check out some of these other videos I have available from the channel. And you can follow me on Twitter and Facebook at Cape Jules, so you're always up to speed on what I'm doing next. And hey, if you really like what I do, you might want to pick up a Cape Jules shirt. Yes, that's right, I have my own merch store over at TeePublic. Check out for great designs like my little Cape Man, stuff from the comic multiverse, fun stickers, in-jokes. We got it all over at the TeePublic store. You can check it out right now. And I will be sure to see you all again next time. Bye-bye.